Yep.
you know,
UAV
the
entering
article.
the AO.
I don't know, I've achieved everything I wanted. I'm well, I can go on with my life, maybe take a new step, maybe find new talents, help some girls there, maybe be a coach too.
You know what's awesome about that? When you think about it, her retiring isn't awesome. That actually drives me nuts. But,
Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for resupply.
Unless you're where she's at. It's like what I said about Cormier when he was talking about retiring a couple of years ago. You know, in this time when I got guys crying about money, you know, one of our female fighters who could go on and keep doing this for a long time is saying, maybe I retire now. You know, she's got plenty of money and she can do it. You know, nobody ever brings that shit up, that the women are treated just like the men here, you know. This was some of these other, even tennis, which is a massive sport that's been around forever and has huge TV deals, and you know, they do the what's the one in New York that they have every year? The
okay, so no, not Wimbledon. I know exactly where it's
oh yeah, the U.S. Open. I mean, U.S. Open, Wimbledon, all these things, and the women still don't make what the men do, you know. Amanda Nunes is in a position where she can retire.
Yeah, I mean, I can second that. The title is on the line, doesn't matter if it's a male or female, they will headline that UFC pay-per-view card.
So it does. In a division that, you know, I was considering dropping, you know, a million times. Kept it around after Demetrius left, and Cejudo won, and Cejudo retired. You know what I mean? It's like, I can't fucking retire right now, right?
Sitting in your seat the past 2 weeks, we've had Aljamain Sterling, we've had Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Move to the next area, secure the perimeter.
In the bantamweight division. Is it safe to say the bantamweight division is the hottest division right now in the UFC?
It really is. There's a ton of great talent there, exciting fights, and yeah, it is.
How quickly do you want to see Sugar Sean O'Malley kind of rise, and where do you compare his stature when you look at rises like an Israel Adesanya and obviously a guy like Conor McGregor?
Yeah, he's one of the kids we're focused on and have been since the Contender Series. You know, he had some issues that he had to deal with the last couple of years, which has been brutal, but it's given him a chance to heal up, and, you know, here we are.
And I know he and Cody Garbrandt were kind of going back and forth.
Primary objective accomplished. Recon intel secured.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
And then they're talking about, or at least Sean wants to fight him, and I know everyone is winning, even like a Marab, who just won the past week, he's calling him out. Everyone in that division is going to call out Sean O'Malley.
Who does that remind you of?
Yeah, right? Do you think that's the fight to make, or a good fight to make, or is that too big of a jump for a Sean O'Malley to fight?
The problem is if you take a Sean O'Malley, you know, first of all, he's been off for a couple years. He's a young kid. He's just coming in. Where does he go from there? You know, you got to give this kid a few more fights before he gets to Cody Garbrandt, because I didn't see the rankings yet, but Cody Garbrandt's got to be, you know.
He's ranked number 5.
Garbrandt?
Yeah, he was 9. You went up
I mean, if he fought and he beat Cody Garbrandt, he'd break into the top 5. Very few people in their careers will ever break into the top 5.
Well, speaking of top 5, didn't you have the Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, so I've asked this question to some of you, the best who have ever done it here in the UFC, to John Jones. Might have asked this to Mighty Mouse. I've asked this to Henry Cejudo, to the Lioness. Who's your Mount Rushmore of greatest MMA fighters?
Friendly loadout drop on the way.
4 most impact, greatest MMA fighters.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about a Mount Rushmore, you know, where their heads are carved in stone forever.
Yes.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
No brainer. You have to do that. Amanda Nunes has to be Amanda Nunes, the greatest female fighter ever. The other two are tough. I would have to go with a John Jones. The guy's never been beat. And what's more amazing about him going undefeated, which is incredible with this sport, is the things that he's done to himself outside of the octagon, and he still hasn't been beaten.
But is that no contest ever going to be overturned?
No contest, believe me, I have battled to get that thing overturned, and it's almost impossible to do. It's almost impossible to do. That's the problem when you get incompetent people in there. You know, that guy is as incompetent a referee as I've ever seen in my life. It was during a very weak period during the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The director was weak, you know, and there were other weak people throughout, the commission at that time. And, you know, it's so hard to get that stuff overturned. It's just an example of how important it is to have the right people in there. Because John Jones should have a 0 after his name.
You're losing ground.
And then number 4 on the Mount Rushmore. I guess you'd have to go with Chuck Liddell. Because at the point in time, he was his biggest star. And it's almost a coin flip. I think about it between Chuck Liddell and Forrest
Enemy
Griffin.
UAV overhead.
Nice kill. Nice kill. Hiding little faggot though. Nice kill.
Both from the same show, you know, the first season of The Ultimate Fighter. You know, Chucky came in massive
Fight to
star,
own
was the
redeployment.
highest paid guy in the company at the time, and all that stuff.
So you left off 2 guys notably like Anderson Silva and
Yeah,
GSP.
Anderson, yeah.
Pay attention, you'll be out there soon.
2 guys.
Get ready to
GSP
fight, you're
too.
next.
And if you look at what Anderson Silva did for Brazil and what GSP did for Canada, you know, these guys who had impact on an entire country is very massive and very strong.
On a side note, on the note of John Jones, I know a few weeks ago you mentioned how he was kind of asking for Deontay Wilder money. Just curious if you can kind of give a comparison as to what amount of money that Jorge Masvidal was asking for to
Win
fight
here
these
and you
two.
return to the front line. You lose, your fight is over. Sort them out or capture the objective. Yeah, you kicked their ass. Stand by for redeployment.
Reapers, suck it in, soldier.
Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep reading his tweets like he's going off on Twitter.
Well, you know, it is what it is right now.
I want to talk about the fights this week. June 20th, big heavyweight fight. Volkov. Is there a guy who has better leg kicks of the heavyweight division than Volkov fighting Curtis Blades? What are the implications of the winner of that fight? Because obviously we're waiting for Stipe DC. That's happening August 15th for that trilogy fight. You got Francis Ngannou, obviously right in the wings. Is there a small chance that the winner of this fight, again, fights Francis, or is Francis holding that petty for a replacement fighter if someone pulls out between DC, Stipe, or he's just next in line for the winner of that fight?
We've talked to him about that. I don't know where we are on those talks, but yeah, obviously if one of those guys fell out, we'd be looking to put Francis in there.
Excellent, excellent. And then what fight on UFC 251, the first one in Abu Dhabi on Fight Island, are you looking forward to the most? Now you know. I'm screwing up the words. If you don't know, now you know.
It's a tough one. You know, I would have to say the fight that I'm most excited about is Usman.
Grab some target practice while you can. We're deploying soon.
Unbelievable in his last few outings. And obviously, beating Woodley the way that he did is a big deal. Usman looked phenomenal in the Colby Covington fight. It was one of the best fights of the year. And, you know, I'm really excited to see that fight.
Speaking of Colby Covington, I mean, he's someone who's been active on social media talking, I want to fight Woodley, I want to fight Usman and everything, but no deal seemed to get done throughout the 3-4 months of this pandemic. Where did the contract negotiations or fight negotiations kind of stale with Colby Covington?
I told you, you hear a lot of things publicly, you know, but then you see the reality, whether the fight's happening.
Playtime's over, mate.
So,
you're going to the Warzone.
You get a lot of chatter and a lot of noise, and one of the things that you should know by now about me is guys have deals. We try to get fights done. I mean, I've dealt with the toughest guys in the business, from the Brock Lesnar's to the Tito Ortiz's to the, you know, you name it, the guys that have been, you know, that are the tough ones to deal with. I've
Battle
always
Royale.
gotten fights done.
Avoid the gas. Get to the safe zone.
When you see somebody talking publicly and the fight doesn't happen, and I can tell you right now, I said this before to you guys in the meeting. I want to fight every man that's in this building right now. I want them to line up out front when I leave, and I want to fight them all.
Hostile dropping into the area. What? All right, lads, let's get it done.
Let's go down a little bit to 200.
But does that really mean I want to fight them?
Right, exactly. No, that makes sense. That's what I'm going to get to right now. Dan Levitar, 250K, you put it, you kind of said there's not enough money. It's never going to happen.
Of course not. You don't want to fight. He's a big mouth. He likes to shoot his mouth off, and he likes to yap. He's a yapper, you know. And you know me, man. People have called me out before and shit like that. I usually don't, you know. De La Hoya said, "Oh, let's fight," and all these other guys said, "Let's fight." I usually don't do it. But Levitar's so fucking annoying. I had to call his bluff on that one. I knew he wouldn't. I said, "I'll put up $250,000 right now for charity." He's like, "You're not gonna bully me like you bully your fighters and all this shit." You know what I mean? Wait a minute, fuckhead. How much money are you putting up? What are you talking about? Who the fuck do you think you are? Nobody even knows who the fuck you are. You know that, right? The 7 viewers you get on your fucking show. You know what I mean? You think anybody in the fucking world knows who you are, Dan Levitar? Nobody knows you, okay? I'll put up $250,000 for charity. How much are you gonna put up? Nothing. He ain't putting up a dime, and he don't want to fight. He's full of shit.
Hey, that kind of reminds me of someone that doesn't want to fight the schmo, but I'm not gonna.
It's funny. I was like last December for charity. I want to do something, and I challenged your buddy Ariel Hawani for 25K to a charity grappling match. I'll find a way to find $25,000. I know ESPN would find $25,000, $50,000 on the line. Charity grappling match. Crickets. No acknowledgement, no nothing. Right. But I didn't expect anything.
But that's like calling out a girl. That's like calling a girl out to fight.
Yeah, well, it's my seat. It's the media. Come on.
Ariel Hawani is one of the weakest human beings on planet Earth. I mean, it's almost like you should be arrested for even calling him out.
But if you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. If you're gonna make a life on calling people out and stuff like that, the second adversity and someone spins it back to you, you gotta be able to handle it, man.
Yeah, but listen, the thing is, there was an issue one time with Ariel Hawani. You know, Ariel is one of those guys that is an agitator, and he likes to push buttons, and he likes to do all that stuff. In a sport where people don't like their buttons pushed and don't like to be agitated and whatever.
Get over it.
You've got gas moving in. Enemy UAV overhead. Friendly loadout drop on the way.
Care package marked.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Marked some gear.
Move to the next area and secure the perimeter.
Device marked.
You've got gas moving in. Contract complete. Recon intel secured.
Moving. Never mind. Marked some gear.
Bounty target has been marked. Kill him. Bounty target is down. Well done.
I can drive.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
Requesting recon on my position.
UAV entering the AO. Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for resupply.
Gas is moving.
My old security guard, I don't know what, he's super nice. He's a Hawaiian dude, really chill guy. He pushed Ariel one time backstage, and all hell broke loose. And I was like, "What, kid? What are you doing? You might as well go out and fucking pick on one of the girls that work out and fucking. It's literally the exact same thing. You can't do that. I mean, that's like it's like, you know, with all the bullying shit that's going on right now. I mean, he's that dude that gets the sand kicked in his face at the beach and, you know, has to go work out with fucking Teddy Atlas or whatever the fucking guy's name was back then, Mr. Atlas or whatever his name was. Teddy Atlas, not Teddy Atlas. You know what I'm saying?
The ESPN boxing commentator. Yeah.
Yeah, not him. You should probably work with him too. But yeah, you know what you got when you're dealing with Ariel.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be fun. Just put the agitator. Is it safe to say, I'm going to throw one quick question at you. The Reebok deal's coming to an end at the end of the year. Is it safe to say that the deal would be with one of these three companies, a Nike, Under Armour, and then I'm going to throw in a dark horse, Venom, for the kits?
This guy. You never know. Yeah, obviously I can't tell you that.
You can't tell, but is it
one of the three?
One of the three, or outside of that bubble, is it likely that there wouldn't be sponsors come in there?
What are the three again?
Venom, Under Armour, Nike.
Yes.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone.
That was it. That was my. I'm sorry, Linnea, was the last hot question. I mean, that's it on my end. Do you have any questions for Dana? Uncle Dana, we appreciate your time. The boss man, you gave us nearly 30 minutes right there.
Yeah, no, just once again, appreciate your time and so many great cards to round up the UFC fights at the Apex. Dan Hooker, Dustin Poirier, that's a fun fight.
Dan Hooker versus Dustin Poirier, June 27th at the UFC Apex. Hey everybody, now's a good time. Go to mybookie.ag, put in the promo code SCHMOZONE. They will match up to 50% of what you put into it, up to $1,000. So you put in $500, they'll give you $250 extra cash to play with.
Gas is inbound. Gulag's locked down. Area's clear.
Mark some gear.
You've got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated. Be advised, there's an enemy team hunting you. Friendly
Careful, Mark.
loadout drop on the way.
Mark some gear. I got it.
You're losing ground. 10 left, keep the pressure on. Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone. Enemy precision airstrike. Take cover.
I didn't even see you there, bro.
Less than 10 were still standing. We lost that one.